Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear workshop. My name is Pat Bear, and my task is to build a model kit, and also to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave Lego site Tier 2 Blue Emote in chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. If you feel like being a lurker, you can just go ahead and lurk. That's also an option. It's Saturday, and it's very sparsely attended at this moment. Don't have a lot of people watching live at this moment. We will carry on because here's the thing. Even if the view count is low, I still know that there are people that are watching the VODs on either my Twitch or my YouTube, Twitch archives or YouTube. So I do know that. So we're gonna carry through. I want to keep working on this model kit, the RGM-79D GM Cold Districts type. I want to keep working on that. And I want to talk about some things and things. So we'll do both of those things and both of those things. It is a Saturday evening. Today I did my second to last session of D&D with my current crew. We have been together for about 3 years. This is our second campaign because our DM did not want to do an endless campaign. This is the second one. We had plans to make this longer, certainly, but due to some circumstances with them and their personal life, our GM, and then also within the group, we're going to take a long break. A couple of us are probably going to regroup and figure something else out. That is the plan right now. So today was session, the penultimate session. We're starting to figure out what's going on. We have started to unlock the mystery of why there are mimics that are huge, looking like monsters, and who is in control of these mimics and making that happen. We're starting to put the pieces together, figure out the mystery, and then I'm pretty sure that the next session will just be an epic battle to wrap things up. I will most likely, for myself, I will continue to do stuff within the collective that I'm a part of. And one of the members of my group who was not part of the collective has joined the collective because they are looking for a regular game. And then the other one member of the group is just done for a while. And then another member of the group is already in 2 other games. So they are just gonna do those for a bit. They don't need a third game anymore. They maybe flew too close to the sun when it comes to doing D&D all the damn time. Lashbrook, hello and welcome. Happy to have you here. And welcome to everybody that's here on this fine Saturday, working on this model kit. We're working on the legs here. We've done the upper body of the kit. We're going to move on there. Yeah, so today that was the major focus, was getting that done. I went for a long walk. I haven't really left the house much this week. This is the wrong piece. This is not. If this is B24, then this isn't B26. So one of these is wrong, and I get to figure out which one it is. So that's B24. That's B25. There's your problem. This piece is right. This piece is wrong. Hooray. Well, now I've gotten this out for the next piece that when I do the other leg, which we'll get to tonight. I think I'm finishing this kit tonight. That is my belief. I don't know if it's feasible or possible, but I do think we're wrapping this kit up because we have the legs, we have the we got the feet done. We got the rest of the body. Yeah, and then we have the legs and then we have the weapons. There are some stickers that we will be attaching to the various parts of this kit, so we will have to do that. But I think we're on our way to getting this done. Oh yeah, the side skirts need to get built, but overall, I think we're good. Is there anything else going on with me? I don't know. I'm gonna do yard work tomorrow. I don't want to, but the leaves have been falling, and instead of raking, I am going to use the leaf blower and then rake up the pile that I make. I will attempt to make a very large pile with the leaf blower and then rake that up. That's the plan anyway. We'll see how that works out. So I wanted to talk to you about my computer troubles. They seem to be fixed. I'm going to start this off with, I think I have come out the other side, and I am not dealing with computer problems ATM at the moment. So Thursday night after stream, I uploaded everything. I got that done. I'm relaxing. I start opening some tabs and getting some stuff ready, and I'm like doing a few things, and then suddenly I get a fucking blue screen of death. Now, I legitimately have not seen a blue screen since I got this computer. This is a pre-built that I purchased in 2022, February of 2022. It arrived. And since I started using it, I have never had an issue with this computer. I have never had a blue screen of death. So I was, as you might imagine, concerned about this blue. And it was a weird one because it wasn't a full, like, I have multiple monitors, so it might be because of that. But it wasn't like everything went blue. It was like, it kind of went blue and one of those messages popped up. And it had like an LG something or other in the corner. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? What is this? But it didn't, it went away so fast that I didn't get to see what it was. I couldn't, obviously I couldn't screenshot it, but I couldn't take a photo with it or whatever. So I didn't know what had happened there because it rebooted. So I checked error logs and didn't see anything, which is weird. But I looked around to try to figure out, like, I did I checked the stability. I checked for errors. I didn't come up with any errors, nothing like that. Nothing seemed wrong. So what I ended up doing was just checking everything I could possibly think of, right? And eventually, I see this, like, little yellow little arrow thing saying that something's going on in Windows Security. Windows Security has like a little thing that's telling me like, hey, something's fucked up, Pat. And I look, and it's Device Security has a little, instead of a green check, Device Security has like a yellow caution thing. And I click on that, and the Core Isolation, which is a Windows 11 thing, visualization-based security protects the core parts of your device. And it was memory integrity. My memory integrity wasn't on, right? And so my problem wasn't that someone was trying to take over my computer. The reason why the memory integrity was tripped off was because I had some drivers that were like not up to date, and my computer was like pissed off about these drivers. They were like, what's up with these fucking drivers? What's going on? And so I looked to see the list of them, and every driver on the list is a Logitech driver. And I'm like, weird, because I do have on my computer, I have Logitech gaming software. It is, I am zoomed in right now, not in OBS. The camera that is zoomed in on my camera here is done in Logitech software. I could record in Logitech software. I don't, but it basically, I can do, because the reason why I have it, and I've always had it, is because this camera used to be the same camera as this camera, same kind of camera. And I could do digital zoom with that better than OBS. And so I could do a bunch of stuff in the camera to like brighten and all that. And then when I used to have a green screen before I started using the NVIDIA broadcast remover, the background remover in NVIDIA broadcast, I should say, not broadcast remover. The NVIDIA broadcast background remover. When I started using that, before that, I used to have to use software. And I was like, oh, is it Logitech? So I opened up the device manager, and I'm looking for these, and I did view by name, and I'm looking for all of them, and there are a couple that I can find, and I'm like, they're up to date. They say they're up to date. So I uninstall the Logitech software, and then go in and try to delete them, and that doesn't work. It won't let me. And so then I re-download the software again, and there has been an update since I last had it. So there was an update, so I grabbed the update, and then I'm thinking to myself, well, I don't want to wait around to see if the blue screen of death comes back. But what I can do is, if I can get if I can get rid of these drivers, make sure that's okay, the integrity will pass. Then I can reboot and run all my scan disks and everything and checkers and all that, because then I'll be in a better stable position. No dice. So then I copy and paste the name of one of the ones that I just can't remove. I can't. It's not that I can't remove it. Is that there's a couple drivers that are not on my list of drivers in Device Manager. They are on the list of non-compatible drivers, but I can't find the list. So I do what I probably should have done earlier, which is we're going to panel line this, then we'll put on the ankle pieces and then panel line that. We already panel lined the feet here. So we'll do the leg now, and then we'll do the rest of that. So I write down the name of one of the two drivers that I can't remove and can't find, and I Google it, and it turns out that about 3 years ago, a lot of people started running into problems with their displays. It's a display driver issue. And the problem was something to do with old Logitech drivers. When Logitech did an update of their software at one point, they renamed some drivers. So the old drivers don't get deleted and replaced with new ones. The old ones just hang out, which is bad, as you might guess. So what's the solution? Well, the one solution would be clean install. I upgraded from Windows 10 to Windows 11. I should have, maybe, if it's a pain in the ass, maybe I should have done a fresh install. So I could have done a fresh reinstall, moved some stuff off to an external drive, and just figured shit out. I could have done that. I didn't do that. There's other options. The main option, which I read, that was on forums. People were figuring this stuff out, Microsoft forums and such. Did I look at Reddit? Yeah, I looked at Reddit. I looked at a bunch of places. So what I ended up having to do was I uninstalled the current, I have the new one, uninstalled the current Logitech that I had on the computer, got rid of all that. Then I went and I downloaded a program, called Auto Runs. And then I opened one of the auto runs. I think it's Auto Runs 64. I opened up Auto Runs with permissions, of course. Gotta right click and run as administrator and say yes, you're cool with that. So I opened that up, and that let me list all of my drivers, because the drivers I needed to delete and get rid of were not showing up anywhere. So I got rid of those drivers. Then I restarted the computer, went into the diagnostic stuff, enabled this thing that wasn't working because of those drivers. It worked. We're fine. Restarted the computer again. Then I had already downloaded, reinstalled the latest version of the Logitech gaming software, because I do need that for this, and to make sure, and then checked and integrity was fine, so the new drivers were fine. Then I had to restart the computer, and then go in and do scan disk and check the volumes and make sure the C drive was okay, and repair errors that were in there. And that last step is very important, because the previous drives were causing errors, but I couldn't fix the errors because my computer did not believe it had permission to delete those drivers. So even though when I ran scan disk with those drivers, scan disk was saying check disk was saying everything's cool, Pat. We know it's fucking great, because they didn't think those things were wrong. So it wasn't until I deleted them and then ran ScanDisk. That ScanDisk was like, you have errors in your index. We're fixing that shit, buddy. We got you. And as of last night at like 1 a.m., because I was doing this while doing other things on and off all day yesterday, I have not had any crashes. I have had no errors. I think it's fixed. If something else happens, I will have to investigate. There still exists the possibility that these drivers are still somewhere on my computer. I don't think they are. There also exists a possibility that Logitech is still going to fuck with me in the future, and I will have to do something else. I just upgraded to Windows 11 on election night, and you're reinforcing my idea of not turning on the memory integrity thing. Well, this and the big performance hit it costs. So here's the thing, Lashbrook. I'm telling you that memory integrity is the reason I knew what was wrong with my computer. I'm sorry if I didn't convey that properly. The problem with my computer was old drivers from Windows 10 not being erased with software in Windows 11 and causing a blue screen. I wouldn't have known that was the reason without Windows integrity or memory integrity saying you need to update these drivers, and then me not being able to find those drivers. Eventually, I would have been blue screening enough with my phone up that I would have been able to take a photo and look up the name of that driver. But the reason I know what driver it was, which were, again, not listed, they were somewhere in a system folder that I couldn't find, system.old or whatever, that I couldn't find. The reason why I was able to fix my shit is because of memory integrity. And as far as, for me anyway, performance hits, I have not seen. It's possible that this is causing a problem, and it's also possible that I might want to turn it off. But I will say, I fixed my shit because of it, which is great. So I don't know. Also, what I probably should have done was, in the first place, which everyone recommends, and I didn't do because of laziness, is a fresh install of Windows 11. Instead of upgrading from Windows 10 to Windows 11, should have just done a fresh install. But I don't want to rebuild anything in OBS. I have other things that would require me to fully rebuild them if necessary. I didn't want to do it. If I still have problems, I will just wipe the drive and copy everything I need to copy over. I can't remember the name of the thing. There's like a thing you can do which will give you a TXT of all of the programs you use. What some people do is they just take a screenshot of their icon tray and their icon, like all my desktop icons go in a folder named icons. Some people take a photo of that. I used to do that when I had a laptop that was giving me a lot of problems and I was constantly having to reinstall Windows 7. I want to say was probably on that. It was probably Windows 7. It might have been Windows XP, but it's probably Windows 7 that I had to keep reinstalling on this laptop. Turns out it was because the battery in the laptop was expanding, but it wasn't expanding to make the keyboard pop up like some people. It was expanding and putting pressure on the hard drive in there. And so that was causing a variety of issues. That was fun. But anyway, again, knock on wood. This is wood over here. Great. Knock on wood. I have solved the problems with this PC. That was not a thing I wanted to do yesterday. I'll be damn honest with you. Off and on, all those problems. But I did figure it out. So far, anyway, everything. Today, things have been cool. Update your drivers. You should, just in general, update your drivers. Check your, you can do hidden, and you can look for stuff that you don't need anymore. Try to upgrade stuff. Look for updates on software you use a lot that involves with that. to take care of your computer and such. I do. So here's the thing, right? Worst case scenario, I have a laptop. I did one stream I've only streamed once on this laptop, and the laptop hated having two webcams. It's got a built-in webcam, and then I tried to hook up another webcam, and it hated it. I don't know if I could do, because I've had this laptop is like an Acer nonsense. This laptop is for running like PowerPoint slides in case I want to travel. It's got HDMI out. It's the most this laptop does day to day right now is every Thursday it has Thursday Night Football on it, and then it's hooked up to my dad's TV so we can watch Thursday Night Football, because that TV is old enough that, first off, TV apps are bad, and secondly, it's so old that the TV app for Amazon Prime just fucking fails. Like, I can hook up an Ethernet cable to that TV, and that's cool, but the software is so bad that it's worthless. So I don't do that. All right, so I put this one. This is B25. Great. Working on the other leg here. I need B27. So that was my adventure. I don't know if my laptop, if I would be able to stream and do this kind of a stream. Obviously, I would. Also, I don't have a lot of ports in there, USB ports on the laptop. So I would have to run. How would I do that? I don't even know. I would have to run. I think I would have to use a headset mic that is a 1/4-inch plug, or 8-inch plug, 8-inch, 1/8 plug. I'd have to use that because I don't think I have enough USB for a USB. Or okay. I guess I wouldn't use my mouse. I could plug in a microphone and the it's a lot. I don't know. There's a lot going on with that laptop or not a lot going on inside that laptop. And so getting stuff to work in it would be kind of a pain in the ass. I could do it. I did but I think what I did on that one was I just did one webcam, the built-in webcam, and then just held up stuff, and I did it like what I bought in New York stream. I want to say the Hangout stream. I haven't done a build stream on that laptop. I for safety's sake, I should figure out one day, hey, what do I need to do to make this a laptop that I could run my streams off of? Like gaming, I would need to plug in another monitor to do gaming, and I think that would be okay. I think I could do another monitor because it does have USB out. So I could do a USB out to, or not USB out, is an HDMI out. I could do HDMI out to one of my monitors and then game on that. But I wouldn't want to do anything more than like Hearthstone. I wouldn't want to do anything like that's a lot. Maybe like Dwarf Romantic, maybe Dwarf Romantic would be okay, but I wouldn't want to push it. I'd be afraid of pushing it. But yeah, that was my computer adventures. I think everything's okay. It's okay until it isn't. I don't know. I'm so glad I updated the Windows 11, but I'm not happy. I wasn't happy about that, but I guess I should have done a clean install, and it's my own goddamn fault. Also, auto runs saved my ass because I didn't know how to find those goddamn drivers. The world of video games and such. Let's talk about this story here. There's some bad, there's some good in the world of video game companies and video games. Hey, NetEase is in the news, and I bet they're not happy about it. 9 NetEase developers have reportedly been arrested for money laundering, according to the Chinese outlet Leafing, reported in English by Bloomberg, employees of NetEase, 9 employees, laundered what's estimated to be about in U.S. dollars, $111 million, give or take. 2 NetEase executives are implicated: our esport division head Zhang Liang and publishing head Jin Yu Chen. So that's fucking... So 2 of the 9 employees of NetEase were executives. And then also 27 unnamed companies with alleged connections to laundering scheme have been blacklisted following these arrests. So this is not just NetEase. NetEase is just the gaming company, one of 27 companies that are part of a huge money laundering scheme. Several NetEase staff were responsible for the purchasing of multiple products. That's what we know. So part of it was, it seems like they were buying product at a discount and then selling it and then pocketing the money. It seems like that is one of the things that was happening. Again, we don't have a lot of details here. Who knows when we'll get those details? But that was one of those like, okay, weird. In other lawsuit news, we got 3 lawsuits. We got 3 stories about crime and lawsuits. I love this Kotaku article. Title really made me laugh. Thank you, Ethan, for this. Guy who taunted Nintendo about streaming pirated Switch games before release now faces $7.5 million lawsuit. Obviously, that's too much fucking money. Nintendo uses the court system like this to go after people in ways that sucks. But also, this fucking dumbass was so like, come at me, bro. And I can't comprehend a world in which you would come at me, bro, Nintendo. Like, it's just, what? This is, let's see, Jeffrey Keane, liked to stream Nintendo Switch games online before they were released and gloated about it, according to a lawsuit filed by, in Colorado District Court earlier this week. Apparently, he sent a taunting letter to Nintendo, or taunting email, where he said, I can do this all day. Lawsuit accuses him of streaming leaked Switch games, including most recently, Mario and Luigi Brother Chip. And apparently, according to the lawsuit, he's done this almost 50 times. That he has placed unreleased games early. So that's where the $7.5 million is, that every stream, they're asking for $150,000 in damages for every stream. That's a lot. All of these streams were unauthorized and all compromised Nintendo's legitimate pre-release marketing. They also promote and encourage downloading of pirated copies of unpublished games, which I think that's a fair statement. Defendant streams often consist merely of him playing the Nintendo leaked games without commentary for extended periods of time. So he wasn't even an engaging streamer. He was just playing the thing, which is like kind of funny, but also like, all right, great. So you're not even going to like try to be a streamer. Recently, Nintendo, crackdown emulation. You know they went after emulators. I have lots of issues with that. But again, the emulators they went after had Patreons, so you know. Also, come on. All right, I'm going to read this shit. The lawsuit claims that shortly after the company had his monetized YouTube channel and other accounts shut down, because that's what they would primarily do. Um, the streamer told Nintendo he would help people find newer and updated copies of the abandoned Switch emulators to help them pirate games. So he was like, in response to them being like, yeah, we're going to get your shit demonetized and shut down, he was like, I'm going to help people steal from you. Love y'all. Capitalism is cancer. My channel is being deleted for sharing gameplay videos. This is your reward. And apparently, just isn't a big streamer either. So like, it wasn't like it was one of those things where it was like, yeah, it didn't really even have the reach there. And you'd think maybe these pirated games would get you that reach, but apparently it didn't do it. So, um, so they asked Nintendo about it because due diligence, gotta do the due diligence. We can confirm that we filed a lawsuit against an individual who engaged and continues to engage in clear infringement of Nintendo IP rights, as well as a violation of our game content guidelines. Nintendo is passionate about protecting the creative works for game developers and publishers who expend significant time and effort to create experiences that bring smiles to all, which is nice. So, in this instance, Pat's hot take, I am not a lawyer. I would say I have done a bunch of things that later in life I have come to regret, and I've done a bunch of things that maybe were questionable. Then upon reflection, I have thought to myself, you know what? I was right. I would say that I have never screwed up so much as taunting Nintendo. I've never taunted Nintendo. I would never taunt Nintendo. If Nintendo decided that my streams, where I am playing an emulated version of old Pokemon games that I own, but I am playing the ROMs of them because I have been doing ROM hacks with them because they're randomizers. If Nintendo was like, hey, fuck off, I would be like, yeah, that sucks, but I'm not going to try to fight Nintendo. Pocket Pair is in the news. Because now Pocket Pair, the makers of Pal World, who are being sued by Nintendo for patent infringements, which is a separate thing that I have less interested in certainly not defending Nintendo in any way, but certainly could not defend Nintendo in this case. When they got this lawsuit, they were unaware at the time of what patents they were infringing. Now they know, and they're talking about it a little bit. Because, yeah, at the time they didn't know. There are 3 patents, all of which were filed this year. Which draw similarities between Pal World and Pokemon Legends Arceus specifically. Basically, they're like, hey, things we patented from our game, you also use. And these are nonsense things. They are nonsense. Riding an object, throwing a ball to capture and possess a character in virtual spaces. That one is a mechanic. Don't think you should be able to patent mechanics. When you read that, but riding on an object is like, what? Fuck off. Pocket Pair said Nintendo wants 10 million yen, which is about $65,000. So that is not a lot of money. Their damages are honestly incredibly low, but they also so that's 5 million yen each for itself and the Pokemon Company, plus late fees and an injunction to block Pal World's release because it's coming to other platforms. So that's the major thing, right? They are trying to stop Pal World from having new platforms and new copies. Also, like, look, they're not saying like, hey, these designs are too similar. They're saying these patents. So they're not going off, you ripped us off for our game. This is not, they're not saying, hey, you made a Pokemon clone, fuck off. You gave them guns. What are you doing? They're saying, hey, you're infringing on our patents. And then also, some people have speculated that perhaps this is because the reason this is happening is because Power World was so blatant and they're like, hey, we made a Pokemon game. We made and also we made a lot of money making a Pokemon game. That's possibly it. And apparently they are not. Pocket Pair is not looking to settle. Apparently, they're not talking too much about it, but they are not looking to settle. It looks like legal proceedings will continue with this one, and as information about it comes out, I will share that information with you because it's kind of fucking fascinating. Because I don't know if they're gonna fucking fight it or not, or if they're just gonna pay a licensing fee for the patents they're infringing. So that's all the lawsuit and legal news. Here's a good bit of business. It's nice to have a good bit of business now and then. Amplitude. The game developers, not the game Amplitude. The game developers, Amplitude, are an independent company once more after 8 years of being a Sega developer, being purchased by Sega. They are no longer purchased by Sega. They have broken free. And they seem to have, like, they weren't like, fuck that place. They were nice about it. But yeah. Let's see. It's a management buyout, and Sega said they had a loss due to the sale of Amplitude through a management buyout. They lost money on the sale. The studio ownership is going back to some of the original founders that remained with the company and members of the team. So these are not people that were founders, but these were high-level people within the company. It, by all accounts, seems pretty fucking good. It sounds like hell. It seems like it sounds like a hell yeah, and we like that. We like when we get hell yeahs around here. We welcome the hell yeahs. So that's great news, honestly. Let's see. Ownership, studio, original founders, and some members of the team. Creative vision or games, endless universe rests in the hands of those who know them best. So that means that Endless Dungeon, that they apparently will retain the rights to Endless Dungeon, and also we don't know about Humankind though. We do know that they are apparently got the rights to Endless. Amplitude founder said the studio is backed by strong and meaningful franchises and intends to become more agile. Let's see. I don't think that there were any layoffs at Creative. There weren't any layoffs as far as I can tell at Amplitude, but Sega cut like 240 jobs in Europe. Creative Assembly and Hardlight, they sold off Relic Entertainment, which we may remember. They canceled Hiatus last year. And yeah, again, time will tell, but a team buying it out, reportedly, this is not sold to unnamed owners. This is not sold to some sort of fund, some sort of hedge fund or something like that. So, hell yeah! Good luck to the folks at Amplitude. There's a new, in the year 2024, there is a new, meaning that it was undiscovered for 28 years, cheat code in Donkey Kong Country 2. Almost 3 decades after it release, Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Conquest, like Conquest, get it? Twitter user TNKT Kong shared discovery on social media. New cheat code in action. But that was not the person. Someone on Discord found it, but the person that tweeted about it had it go viral. So apparently, this cheat code lets you return to the map screen even if you haven't completed the current level, which just saves time. It's not super helpful. This is not a thing that will like do anything crazy. It's just it wasn't documented anywhere. If entered correctly, you'll hear a noise and immediately taken back to the map screen, regardless of where you are in the level or your progress. It's neat, though. It's mostly just neat, like I said. Yeah, I don't know. That was just like, look, it's a slow news weekend. Lord Crashington just resubbed. That's 64 months saying, hey, Pat. Hey, Lord Crashington. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego Tier 2 Blue Emote, any of those emotes in the chat. And let's thank very much Lord Crashington for all that continued support. And then Lord Crashington wants me to hit the dance button. Let me put the emotes in the chat. Thank you very much for all of those 64 months. And also, here's the dance song. Maybe you missed it when I played it on Thursday. Here's the new dance track. Oops, that's wrong. That was wrong. I really messed up. I pressed the dramatic button instead. I pressed dramatic instead of dance. My apologies. Yes, womp womp. Oh yeah. Oh. All right, we're body complete on this kit. It's time to work on the weapons. Oh, actually, there are stickers here that have to go on the back of the kit. Is that right? Yeah, the back of the kit stickers. That's weird. Is that right? Let me look. Let me look at this thing. Is there going to be an image that shows me stickers on the back here? Yeah. Okay. These are back stickers. Back of the leg stickers. Those are. Yeah. Okay. Those go on the back. Yeah. All right. Got these little stickers that go on the back of the legs here. It's kind of neat. Weird. We'll do it. No one will see them, but we'll do it. The start of a knockoff Audio Slave song. Yeah, okay. That works, Lord Crashing then. Yeah. All right, let's put on these little stickers. I almost missed the stickers. And then at the end I would have been like, well, this is the shield sticker. Where else am I going to put it? Let's see. Other gaming news before the pause for the cause and all that. Let's see what do we got here. Okay, we got that there. Let's see. One more story. NVIDIA's GeForce service is basically putting in some guards there. Unlimited gaming is going to get limited. They're starting to limit their gaming. You may be unaware of the cloud streaming service that NVIDIA has, the GeForce streaming service. You pay for it, and then you basically, it's like you're streaming the game being played on a server somewhere. I only really know about it because Patrick Klepek tried it out, and then occasionally NVIDIA sponsors a stream for Remap, and then they use it. But he was like doing like a report on a bunch of them and actually liked the GeForce one. So that's the only reason I've ever heard of it. Other than when they started it, they were like, you can do any game. And then a bunch of developers were like, what? And so then they had to like license and get permission for it. Because the developers were like, what do you mean people can stream our game? What? What are you talking about? Anyway, NVIDIA is going to put a time limit on the GeForce Now cloud streaming service starting on January 1st, 2025. Subscribers will have a 100-hour monthly playtime allowance for members of the paid, performance, and ultimate tiers. After hitting 100-hour cap, subscribers can buy 15 more hours for $3 on performance or $6 on ultimate. If a subscriber has up to 15 hours of unused playtime, the time will be automatically rolled over to the following month. So if you don't use it one month, you can use it more the next month. I just realized I messed up one of these legs here. So, which is okay. Like, sure, I don't know. I realized one of these legs wasn't bending properly. It's because I missed a step. Unbelievable. I keep missing steps tonight. We'll build this gun first, and then I'll put on the piece I need to do. Let's see. Cap is being set to, quote unquote, continue providing exceptional quality and speed as well as short queue times to members. They explained on Reddit when people were like, why? Why are you putting a cap on this? I already pay you money. It acknowledged this limit will only affect about 6% of its subscribers. The other 94 typically enjoy a service within this time frame and are comfortably accommodated. So that's an important thing to say. Like, hey, 6% of users do over 100 hours a month. So this actually, to us anyway, is completely reasonable. And I think that is, you know, that's worthwhile to say. Like, hey, actually, it's not going to affect a lot of people. And then I will say this. You're paying a monthly fee for this. It's weird to pay a monthly fee and then also have to worry about, like, a limit and then paying extra. But the fact that you can pay extra if you're like, I kind of want to get like a couple hours in. It's the end of the month. Fuck it. I'll pay $3 to get a few more dollars or a few more hours in. Like, I can see that. I don't like limits, especially when a thing is supposed to be unlimited and then they throw in limits. I'm not saying that I like that. I'm saying directly that I do not like that, but I understand it. Let's see. This could be a cost-saving measure. It could just be future-proofing some stuff. We don't know. And then for whatever reason, this game developer article then starts talking about Microsoft because they don't have enough words for this article. But yeah, this may be for some of you your first reveal that this exists and is a thing. But it is a thing. Then some people use it. I imagine if you have a good laptop and you travel, then that would be pretty fucking cool. Because that way you don't have to have all your games loaded on your laptop. You can just, play with what you got and then stream them in. I could see that being pretty solid as a way to play. I don't know. It's never really been a thing that I'm like paid attention to myself. Okay, so this hand does not hold this gun very well, and that's a bummer. Bring it like that. Then put this like that. Oh, come on. Okay, that holds it a little bit better if I do it like that. But yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah, that just doesn't hold well. This doesn't really hold well. But it's got a gun, so we'll put it on. And then we'll put on the, we'll panel line the hand. This is, again, this is a kit from 2003 that had a reissue. I don't know when the reissue happened, but it was reissued because I know it's a new box. So this plastic isn't old, but the design is old. And I gotta say, even for 2003, this sucks. The fact that the beam saber here is all one piece and the hand is one piece and the hand is a different color. So if I want to use this, it's not the same color as the other hand. This sucks. I'll say that right there. I need B10 on there. I think that's bad. I'm going to go ahead and say that I think this is a bad thing. And I love like a separate hand for shenanigans. Like being able to swap these hands out. But it's not the same color. It just blends in. That's bad. The fact that there's no good weapon option here. Because either you have this weapon, which again, I don't think looks good. Because the color's wrong on the hand. Or you have a gun that doesn't fit that well. So there's no good weapon option for this kit. And that's bad news, in my opinion. My professional opinion, that's bad news. And I don't like it. Also, I'm sweating right now. I don't like that either. That's a separate issue. In a couple of minutes, we'll take a pause for the cause. We'll talk about other ways you can, various ways you can support the channel and all of that. And then we'll talk about 2 anime episodes. The latest episodes of Dan and Dragon Ball Daima. Get into both of those things. Talk about Pansy. Then we'll talk about oh god, what's her goddamn name? We gotta talk about yes, tonight we'll chat about Pansy and Yokai's name. Acrobatic Silky. That's right. How could I forget Acrobatic Silky? But I did. I forgot the name Acrobatic Silky. So we got some weird shit to talk about tonight in the second hour. And we'll finish this kit up and then we'll start a fine looking Lego set. Get all that together. But yeah, let's we'll get this shield here. Shield on. Oh, that's all that's left is a shield, so. And in the fucking photograph of this, look at that. Look at that. The hand is the right color, and that's different color there. I'd have to paint it to look like that. This is not the same. These are different things, and it makes me annoyed. I don't like it. Don't like it. I'll take a photo with this gun, and we're going to take 2 photos of this here. So, take 2 photos of this kit. Get a photo together, and then we'll build the shield after the pause for the cause. And then we did finish this kit up tonight, and then we will start building a Lego 3-in-1 that I'm excited about. So let's get a photo here. Oh, we should do like that instead. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then we'll take this hand off and put the bad hand on for having it with the shield. That. And that. Okay. Now is the part of the stream, friends, where I'm going to talk to you, that's right, you, the viewing audience, about ways that you can, if you want to, support what I do here. Everything I'm about to talk about is optional. You're in no obligation to do any of these things. But if you would like to, I'd love it for you. You know, I'd love it for you to do it. I want to give you the option. Because I can't do this without you. So if you want to help out, here are various ways to do it. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber to the Build with Bear Workshop, why don't you throw the Bear Cave Lego Site Tier 2 Blue Mote in chat? Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. You're obviously under no obligation to subscribe, but if you wanted to, you could. You get cool emotes. You don't see ads during the stream. You don't see ads before the stream starts. It's nice. Consider joining me here on Twitch if you want to. You could gift a sub. I should say we are currently at, boom, 25 out of 40 subscribers. The goal is to get to 40. I shut up about how many subscribers I have once I hit 40. If you want to become a subscriber, you want to gift a sub to somebody in the community, join the gift sub leaderboard, be the only person on there right now. Bits and coins always appreciated. If you want to do some cheer, that would be cool. There are a variety of ways to support what I do here. That's just like one of them. It's the easiest one because you're already here on Twitch. Reminder, don't use the app. Go to a browser and do it. Don't pay the tax. Which also counts for Patreon, because I have a Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. Over there, I've got a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for different tiers. If you join to the $3 or $5 or $10, you could vote on what I do next Tuesday. Currently, I'll be checking out more of the Shrek DLC, the Shrek pack in Power Wash Simulator. That's winning the poll, but you could vote in that poll for $3 a month, or $5 or $10. I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. Over on my YouTube channel, you can check out the videos that I put up there. You can subscribe for free, of course, but you can become a member. Over on my YouTube channel, you can become a member for just $2 a month. You get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So the video that I put up this past Wednesday, you would have seen it before everybody else, which is cool. And then if you sign up the next Tuesday, you'll be able to see the video before other people get to. My other video in my this month's theme for Kuma Baer, where I'm talking about shows that I slept on. So you could jump in on that. You don't have to, but you could. Those are all monthly ways to support me. If you would just like to throw a tip in the tip jar, you could, with a little bit of a monies to my Ko-Fi or my PayPal. Everything I make through direct donations, through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund, and out of that fund, I take money out and I buy model kits. This kit that I'm currently working on right now, I was able to purchase because of your past generosity. Past you is helping out future me, which is very kind, or current me. So if you want to help out future me, you can. Actually, right now, I just want to quickly check to see if, because it is a new month, did my AdSense get updated? Can I check this out? Because it's the 8th or the 9th. So, okay, it did update. All right, good. About a quarter of the way there till the payout. Because with Google AdSense, it's $100 threshold before a payout. So I am on my way. I'm a quarter of the way to the next one. And I will use that money to buy model kits. Don't worry. Now, the next thing that I'm working on, a Lego set, was purchased off my Amazon wish list. So it jumped the queue and became the next thing that I'm working on. If you would also like to buy something for me to build on stream, like an anonymous person did with this Lego set, you can go to my Amazon wish list, pick something out, send it to me in the mail, and then, wait, what happened here? Sorry. I thought I moved that. Sorry. Something's going on with my wish list here. Checking out my wish list. I thought I had moved an item down to the bottom. It did not take. So, whatever. Top of my wish list is an item that should be at the bottom of my wish list because I just recently added better LED light bulbs than the ones I currently have. I currently have, I believe these are 100 watt equivalent light bulbs, and I put 150 watt light bulbs on my wish list just to see if having those would make my build space brighter. I think they definitely would. But I put a 2-pack up in there because they're expensive if you want to buy those. But there's also Lego sets and model kits, inexpensive kits, expensive kits. That's got to be at the bottom with gear. And I thought I had moved it down there, but apparently I didn't, so my apologies. But yeah, I got a bunch of stuff in there. I just put a master grade. I don't build master grades as much these days because they don't make that many master grades at this point. So there's a 1/100 scale RX-783, the G3 Gundam. I just put that on the wish list. That's a cool looking Gundam. I got a bunch of stuff in there, Lego and all that. See if there's something there you'd like to see me build. And again, there's gear. And like I said, I just added some better watt, the equivalent of 150 watt light bulbs. I think if I, my light that's over here that really splashes over, I think if I put a 150 watt light bulb in there, this would illuminate greatly and the shade would keep my eyes from fucking burning. But I don't know. So if you want to help me out with an experiment, you could jump in. If you want an alternative to Amazon, you want to support me but not go through Amazon, totally get it, totally understand. I have a throne wish list. You can always check that out. And then you can always also go to USA Gundam Store. At USA Gundam Store, you can do the most convoluted way of supporting me financially. Because the other ways are just like, become a subscriber, pay money, or buy me a thing one time. USA Gundam Store, you go to the website, you buy a gift card there. They will send you in your email a gift card code. Then you will use that gift card code to send me and copy and paste it and send it to me as a whisper on Twitch, a DM on Twitter, or Blue Sky or Mastodon with that gift card code. And then I will use that gift card code to buy a model kit from USA Gundam Store. Again, the most convoluted way to support me financially, which people have done. More people have done that than buy something from me off Throne. It's weird. Weird but true. If you want to support me and not spend any money, you can always go to my Discord and hang out. I got a Discord. It's a lovely place full of kind folks. Feel free to come hang out in the Discord. I post build photos at the end of every stream. People post stuff they're working on. It's nice. On Monday, this coming Monday, I will have up a new episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club. And I will be talking about my fall 2024 recommendations. If you didn't watch my previous Pat Bear's Anime Club, where I talked about Suma Show, you should watch that because there's a weird anime out that if you only read the briefest of descriptions about it, you would be like, what the fuck? And then in reality, it's just like, But it does sound really fucked up. So maybe you want to check that out, my description of that out. And then Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. This month in November, I am talking about shows that I slept on for too long. Shows that I missed out on. And then later went, oh shit, this is real good. And the very first one I'm talking about is Hyoka. Hyoka is a detective series set, or a mystery solving series set in a high school with a guy that just like doesn't fucking want to do this. And then a girl that really is curious and her curiosity drags him along. And then it's cute and fun and high stakes for high school students, but treated with care. And it's really special. Animated beautifully. It's 22 episodes. Check it out. There's an OVA that's bad, but the OVA isn't on Crunchyroll, so I didn't mention that. But I've watched the OVA, and it's fucking fan servicey and not great. Not worth it. But there's more anime for me to talk about. Before I can talk about this anime, what needs to happen is I need to drink some water, and I have to dramatically transition to the overhead camera, and then I'm going to work on this shield, and then I'll work on a Lego set. But to start that, I am going to dramatically transition right now. Okay, let's finish this kit while I talk about some anime. Dan. So, we thought in the beginning of episode 5, we thought everything was cool. Turbo Granny was defeated. Everything was back to normal. Okarun was like, hey, my balls are missing. I don't know what to do with that information. Um, so then they discovered that a now non-powered yokai, Turbo Granny, was just hanging out. Turbo Granny's powers are inside Okarun, and in exchange for information about Okarun's missing balls, they're going to give Turbo Granny her power back. And there's a bit of a conversation here to be had about Turbo Granny is an evil yokai, but does have a soft spot for the sites of places where bad things happen to young women, and the souls of, and part of her power was to help the souls of these young women move on or get revenge or something. So there is something we said about Turbo Granny, and that's important for the later conversation that we're having here. Momo's worried they aren't going to find the balls, or the gold balls. Turbo Granny's like, someone has one of them, and they're filled with power, so maybe a yokai has them. But that's as much as Turbo Granny is going to help them right now. So all they can do is talk to Grandma, talk to Seiko, and Seiko's just like, hey, I'll ask around. I don't know. Maybe we can find out something about like a yokai that got powered up recently or something like that. And also, hey, Okarun, you still have Turbo Granny's powers, so be fucking careful about that shit. A male classmate the next day talks to Okarun and wants to get introduced to Momo, because there is a rumor going around the school that Momo is easy and will sleep with anyone she dates. And Okarun wants to fucking find out what happened and who's spreading this nasty rumor. Apparently, Turbo Granny followed them to school and is in the building, which is wild to say. Because she's powerless, she can just kind of hang out, and Grandma said it was okay. And she's like, hey, Okarun, like, let me inside your body. Let me take over. That way I get my powers back. Like, come on, let me do this. And he's just like, no, I want my balls. Let's see. Okarun kind of takes off because he doesn't want to talk to Momo because of all these rumors and stuff, and he just doesn't want to have to face her about it. And Momo can't catch up with him and runs into her friends, and one of her friends is just like, oh yeah, well, there's rumors about you, and he got really pissed off about it. Because people are spreading rumors that he got into a fight. So now she knows. We cut away to Arya. Arya was the person who was recently was friendly with Okarun to his face, and then talked shit about him behind his back. So then last episode, Momo used her psychic powers to throw a thing at and hit Arya in the head. Apparently, Arya knows that Momo did it. She can perceive the fact that she can like see things that other people can't see, and she at least had some perception that, hey, you threw a thing at me. Like, she's aware of that. And she's the one who started the rumors about Momo, because she thinks that Momo was a demon. That is how she is perceiving her. So Arya has some sort of abilities, but is wrong in this respect, obviously, but still has some kind of ability, which is interesting. And we'll find out more about her in a bit. And then she reveals that she has one of Okarun's gold balls. How did she end up with the ball? She thinks that this ball is a sign from God that she can that she's supposed to be purging demons. Apparently, we get a flashback where she was walking the train tracks by when the fight happened against Turbo Granny, and apparently that's when Okarun lost one of his balls, and she found it when Momo and Okarun thought they defeated Turbo Granny on the train. Apparently, Arya's friends know that she's fighting demons, and they're on board. They bring her a cross and a book, and they're like, so this is the thing. They are skeptical that Arya can see demons, and she wants to fight demons. But they're supportive, and that's nice. They're supportive of their friend. Except for what happens, but whatever. It's still nice. Turbo Granny observes Arya and sees what happens. And then Okarun and Turbo Granny tell Momo, So Turbo Granny's like, hey, I saw this weird woman. And that's, Arya also saw the weird woman. There was a woman in a red dress near the school. And both of them saw it. And Turbo Granny's just like, hey, also, if someone picks up this vital information here, if someone without abilities, without powers, were to pick up one of the balls, they may awaken their latent abilities. So that might be happening. Arya might be able to see things because of the ball. It's possible. And they might be able to see spirits. Turbo Granny's like, I'm going to introduce you to this weird woman I saw. Which she doesn't get to do. Arya confronts Momo and Okarun. She wants to meet Momo in private, and in one of the dumbest moments for Momo, who has been abducted by aliens and fought monsters and been pretty fucking reliant, but how could she know this was going to happen to her? Arya leads her to an abandoned warehouse. Which again, like, why, girl? Why are you in an abandoned warehouse? Why did you agree to this? And in that abandoned warehouse, she gets a hit from behind by one of Arya's friends. And they tie her up. And then Arya's like, I got this cross. And that doesn't do anything because Momo is a psychic, not a demon. So Momo uses her psychic abilities to throw Arya's friends away. Toss them, basically. Okay, so you do this, and then you do that. Okay. Sorry, I gotta get this. How does this go? This goes like this, and then we'll go like that. Then we'll go like that, and then that'll go like that. Okay. Sorry, I gotta get this shield on, so we're done with this kit. I gotta do it. That. All right, we got the shield on. This kit is now built. Toss all this stuff over in the pile. Parts, the part pile. Goes over there. And I'll take the last photo of this kit. I forget which finisher has the leg sweep to the faceplant combo. Whose finisher has the leg sweep? Faceplant combo. Is that Moxley? Leg sweep into a face. I mean, the one the girls do. I don't know. I don't remember who has that double team. Motor City Machine Guns do a variation of the leg sweep and faceplant. It's mostly a tag team move. I don't know if Moxley does it. But it's mostly a tag. That's mostly a tag team finisher. And then a weird lady shows up. A weird lady just shows up here and grabs her. And that weird lady is the lady with the red dress. This lady is a goddamn yokai. And we have a flashback. And apparently at some point in her life, Arya called this woman mother, and this yokai wants people to call her mother. Okarun turns into the turbo version and immediately gets devoured, like completely absorbed by the yokai. And Arya's like, I don't know who you are. And he's like, I'm your mother. It's just like, no, that's not right. That's not what's happening here. It's some weird shit. We'll talk more about that in a second. Let me get the Lego together here. Now, these are 3-in-1s. We got 3 different instruction booklets. Normally, we would start with this one, which is the watering can, because this is the Lego 3-in-1 watering can. Reminds me of something done by a single wrestler. Yeah. Is back. Great. Sometimes if I hit the connector with something like this box, it will go out there. Yeah, I don't remember, Lashbrook, what wrestler you're thinking of and what move you're thinking of. I thought you were thinking of a tag team move. So, normally I would start with the biggest one, and then we would do the other ones, but the person that purchased from me requested that I do the birds first, so I will. Let me also quickly look up the name of this thing, and then we'll get back into anime. Nick, this is! Just subscribe with Prime. That's 9 months. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego site tier 2 blue emote in chat. And thank Nick. Thank you, Nick, for your continued support. Means a lot to me. We are now at 26 subscribers. The goal is to get to 40. I shut up at 40. Thank you very much for your support. Almost the year. Appreciate it. I'm going to look up the name of this kit. Just the full name of it here. It's going to be in here. It's going to be Lego Water Flowers in Watering Can 3-in-1 is what this is, so that I can add it to the title here. Lego Flowers in Watering Can 3-in-1. That is the title. There, and then I need to copy and paste this here. And then add it to my Google Doc. And started I did not know we would get started on this, but we are started on this. Lego Flowers and Watering Can 3-in-1. We're going to start with the bird because it was requested by the person that bought this. They are anonymous, but they did request that. Now, these are numbered, so if I did the way it wanted me, we would have started with bag number 1. So that means that we're going to open up all 3 bags because we do need all 3 bags. We won't use all 3. We won't use all the parts, but we do need them. I don't believe there are any stickers in here. So I am just going to one at a time open these bags and knoll them. And then we'll get started on a little bit here. But we're mainly just separating stuff by color to make my life easier here. And then we're going to do a proper knolling, and then we will we'll actually get a little building done, but probably not a lot. Back to the episode of Dan Dadan that I was talking about. Turbo Granny checks Momo's phone because apparently we infer that there's a text on Momo's phone that the strange woman is named, this yokai is named Acrobatic Silky. Acrobatic Silky is here. Arya, our misguided character, calls Silky a monster, so Silky absorbs Arya and just devours it. And then Momo is like, hey, Turbo Granny, could you help us? And Turbo Granny is like, I don't care. Silky has, is evidenced by the name, Acrobatic Silky has long silky hair and uses it to attack Momo. And Momo's just, it's just like, hey, call me mother and I'll release everyone. And Momo's just like, no, I'm not doing that. So it ends up that Silky also devours Momo, and then Turbo Granny's just like, you fucked up. And then flames start engulfing Silky's body because Arya was holding the cross, and then Momo uses her psychic powers to make the cross burn Silky from the inside. uh, basically like it's basically like a lighter, and then so they burn. So that happened, and then that leads to Silky spitting out everybody, and that's the end of the episode where Momo and Okarun are now figuring out how they're going to fight this thing, which is on fire, which is great for, and not great in the long grand scheme of things, but great in the short term. It was a very fun, weird episode. I thought the whole episode might be this kind of like drama kind of moments, things of like, oh, who's spreading rumors and what's going on here? But instead, that was pretty short, and then we got into the fucking weirdness, and the weirdness was weird in a way that I really enjoy. This new yokai looks fucking nightmarish in a way that I'm really into. And it'll be interesting to find out if, like, what's the connection with Arya and this yokai in the past? Could Arya see this yokai in the past? Was Arya calling this thing mother without even being able to perceive it because now she has powers and she didn't have powers before? Like, what's going on there? And why are all of the yokai that we've seen, in this case two, females that are focused on other ladies? And what's going on there? It's interesting. There's weird gender dynamics throughout this, and like gender feels in a lot of this thing. A lot with, that, and also genitals are very important to this story, which is a weird thing for me to say, but it's true. Not lying. Dan Tadan is fucking wild in a way that I really enjoy. Now let's talk about this episode of Dragon Ball Daima. Episode 5 of Dragon Ball Daima, aka Pat is on board? Question mark? Exclamation point? Yeah, heads up. I think I'm on board with Daima finally. I know a bunch of people really liked episode 4, and I thought it was fine. But there was something about this episode that really, so Dragon Ball Daima has felt a lot like another version of Dragon Ball GT. But this episode made it feel, to me anyway, more like Dragon Ball. Pre-tournament Dragon Ball. And I'll kind of like the scenes that made me feel like that. I'll get to. I'll call them out when there were scenes that made me say like, this is some fucking Dragon Ball stuff going on in here. Because those scenes, they come up, and so I'll mention them when appropriate. Episode 5. So in the last episode, our heroes are traveling. They're trying to make it to an ally that will help them out. Along the way, they rescue a girl, someone who reveals themselves to be a demon girl, from the demon girl named Pansy. Pansy is like kind of like talking to them a bit and figuring stuff out, and then it's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna come with you. You're going to Caden's castle. I gotta go there anyway. We find out a little bit more later, like what her deal is with that castle. But yeah, so she's gonna go too. Pansy starts talking about who she is and says like, oh, I can do magic. And Goku's just like, hell yeah, show me magic. That's awesome. And so she does, she moves a rock. She has like mild psychic powers. She's not that great at it, but she can do it. And Goku's just like, that's awesome. Goku is immediately psyched about the fact that she can use magic, and even if it's not impressive, he can't use magic, so he thinks it's cool as hell. And this is my first instance of this feels like Dragon Ball, where we are introduced to a character, and Goku goes out of his way naturally to find a reason to like this character, or like this person, or just have like some kind of moment with this character, some kind of like little bit of business with a character that like doesn't really have a lot going on, but has something that gets Goku psyched. And that feels very, to me anyway, that feels very Dragon Ball. And I like that. Also, Pansy says that she's very good at tinkering with machines, which is awesome. You always got to have a machiner. And then she's like, "Hey, Shin, are you a Glind?" Which Shin is yeah. And apparently, Glinds have been known to go off world and live there, which Shin also did. So we get a little bit more about that. Let's see. Pansy knows exactly how to get to the castle, is leading them like she's been there a lot before. We'll find out more about that. They get to the castle, and she's just like, oh, by the way, Caden is kind of like a mob boss. Now, I got excited because we all know, you might not know this. You might not know this. Toriyama, and obviously, this is Dragon Ball, but it's not like, you know, rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. He loved mob characters. He loved making mob boss characters in Dragon Ball. All the Dragon Balls. Caden isn't really a mob boss, and I don't know, like, he's not a Yakuza guy, and I don't know why they say this, but it got my hopes up, so I was a little disappointed. Anyway, Pansy's just like, hey. Oh, also Pansy did say that Goma's taxes are worse than Daburo. We cut away to Goma. Speaking of Goma, we cut away to Goma. Dende, who is a baby, because remember, everyone got de-aged. Everyone that's part of Goku's crew got de-aged. And so Dende is just like a baby. And they're apparently trying to make Dende like them because they think that, like, eventually he'll be old enough that he can make them Dragon Balls. And it's assuming that Dende has the mind of a child, which there's no evidence that anyone has regressed in age. Shin certainly hasn't. And Piccolo didn't seem to, and Vegeta didn't seem to, and Goku's always acts like a kid, so he's not a good judge of that. But as far as I can tell, they didn't de-age, they just became younger. Their bodies became younger, not their minds. Whatever. That was weird. Let's see. We find out that Pansy is a princess in this kingdom. We did not know that. They're like, hey, Caden. Caden's just like, Glorio, why did you bring a bunch of kids here? And they're like, no, I'll explain it. And they do. Like, he's actually really strong. This is cool. And they're there to defeat Goma. And Caden is fucking psyched about that because he's like, I would love to be the supreme leader, and I would like issue peace, and it would be great. So if you could defeat him, that would be rad. And hey, when you're older, you can marry my daughter, which is Pansy. And Goku's just like, and of course she's mad about that because she thinks he's a little kid, and she's not old enough to get married. And then Goku's just like, actually, I have a wife and kids, so that won't work out. And everyone's just like, what? That was a funny moment. So they explain what's going on, and they're like, we either need to save Dende, or we need to find all of the Demon Realm Dragon Balls. And they're like, do you think you're strong enough to beat all of them, like the guardians of the Demon Realm Dragon Balls? Like, that doesn't seem like a thing you're going to be able to pull off. And so they're like, no, Goku's really strong. Don't worry about it. Hey, by the way, can we borrow a plane? So there's a talk about that they're going to borrow an airplane. They're also going to steal another airplane and go and send someone to meet up with Bulma, who's been flying later, to give them a hand. He gets supplies. But that's after they prove that Goku is strong. And Goku has to fight a bunch of Caden's army, who are various different kinds of demons. And this was the Dragon Ball shit. This was like Goku fighting the demons and the ogres and the Home for Infinite Losers stuff. This felt very Dragon Ball to me because Goku also, at one point he does go Super Saiyan for like a second just to like send out power. But for the most part, he's just fighting with martial arts. He's not using special techniques. He's just fast and strong. And it super felt like this is just some Dragon Ball shit, and I'm loving it. I was so psyched about all of the cool Dragon Ball stuff in there. It felt like old school. It felt very old school to me. And this was when I was just like, hell yeah. Because there was a lot of talk in this episode, but it was neat to get some fucking cool-ass action that we eventually did get. So they're going to figure anything out. They're going to... Caden's going to support them. He's going to send some people to help out. They're going to go meet Bulma later. Hybis is going to go, who's a Majin. But not bad like Boo, I guess, apparently. And then Pansy's going along. She wants to travel. And that it would be good. And Goku's like, yeah, I'll protect you. I'll protect her, no problem. Which, again, Goku just looking for spirit of adventure, seeing something in Pansy and believing in her instantly, for good or bad, felt very Dragon Ball to me. And then there is a moment where Shin talks to Goku and is just like, hey, so Glorio isn't telling us everything. And Goku's just like, it'll be fine. And that's what I said before the previous episode. The last episode, episode 4, I was like, something's up with Glorio. I feel like maybe he's not doing this to like save the demon realm. He's doing it to take over the demon realm, and he's like taking advantage of the situation. Like, that's my gut. My gut says that's what's going on. And apparently Shin agrees with me that like something's up. So I was like, hell yeah. Thank you, Shin, for agreeing with my not trusting this character. We'll see. We'll see if Shin and I are correct or not. And that's the episode. Except for the fact that the ship that they're on almost immediately has engine problems, because maybe they packed too much stuff in the ship, and it looks like it's going to crash, or it's crashing. Which was like, oh, god damn it. I get why that's happening, but I don't, like, you know what I mean? Like, they have to have problems. It's adding in problems for them to solve. It'll be it's an easy way to introduce new characters as they crash and they have to keep going. The fact that they had a plane and they were like on their way just to get interrupted is like, yeah, I get it. I don't like it, but I understand why that scene happened. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. We're just knolling here. We're just getting all our colors separated so we can get together. And then I'll just shove them all together and then separate them out later. And yeah, that's episode 5. This again, this was me kind of getting into Dragon Ball Daima, like after enjoying it but not loving it. I think the scene where the bar fight I thought was really fun. In a previous episode, I think it was episode 3, there was the bar fight. And that I liked, and that was like a good, to me, that was a good, like, oh, okay, this is what we're going to see here. And I don't think it's wrong to have expectations that Dragon Ball is going to be like, Dragon Ball Daima would be action-y, and it turns out it's more adventure-y. It's more action-adventure-y. Somebody said that they thought it was like Goku in a Dragon Quest game, which I kind of like that comparison. And again, to me, it's kind of like, it's had moments of being very Dragon Ball, and I've really enjoyed that. All right, this is bag 3. This is a bunch of colored pieces here. Lots of bright colors in this bag. Again, we are knolling all 3 bags because we would have to anyway. The watering can, we wouldn't need to, but we're going to start with the birds. So we'll get all this together here, and then we'll Try to make, try to organize this as best I can. Try to organize by color. Strange Man Boy in Strange Land. Yes. Yeah. And that's what we're dealing with our Dragon Ball right now. I'm having a good time with it again. I'm starting to fucking feel it where I wasn't necessarily feeling it right away. But hey, it's a Dragon Ball series, so I'm gonna get like. It's not like after episode 3, I was like, well, I'll never watch this again. It's like, no, I was gonna give it more time, and I am giving it plenty of time, where I might have dropped another show. But yeah, speaking of which, a reminder, my stream, I'll have a video next Monday. I mean, I'm streaming next Monday, but I'll have a video next Monday, where I will talk about, I'll recommend some anime from this season. There has been, quite a bunch of good shows this season. A lot of sequels, and I didn't recommend any sequels. So I did recommend a remake, but I didn't recommend any sequels because that feels weird to be like, yeah, hey, if you haven't watched the side series and the pre-season shows and the previous 2 seasons of ReZero, do that and then watch ReZero season 3. Like, I wasn't going to do that, but ReZero season 3 has been fucking really goddamn good. Lots of twists. The really strong opponents. Subaru is fucking doing his goddamn best. Really trying hard to protect Amelia and also all of his found family and now his now that we got Beko on there hanging out as well. Beatrice is now hanging out and on the team. It's even stronger. Beatrice out of the library and doing stuff. It's real good. Real cute and good. But also deadly and serious. Because shit is going down in this fucking show. For real, for real. Now is the part of the stream where I want to hear from you. That's right. In a weird twist of fate, breaking all precedents previously set, this is the part of the stream where I want to hear how you're doing, what you're up to, what you're into, what's going on, what's good with you. I always want to hear, what you're playing, what you're watching, what you're up to, that kind of stuff. Cooking anything interesting. If you're making plans for Thanksgiving here in the United States, American Thanksgiving, or if you got stuff happening. Like I always like to know what's going on with y'all. For me, I mentioned this at the top of the stream that my D&D crew is wrapping up for various reasons, and we had our penultimate session today that was very good, and I'm gonna be bummed when it's over, but I'm having a really good time with it to finish this up. I tweeted about a deck in Hearthstone that I was playing even though I hated it because it was easy to get wins. That deck has been nerfed. It is no longer a concern. Actually, it wasn't nerfed. It just was killed. This was a Paladin deck for those Hearthstone players. It's a wild Paladin deck. It was a Holy Wrath deck. So Holy Wrath is a card that costs 5 mana. And you draw the top card from your deck. And whatever you target, which can be the hero or a minion, you do damage equal to the mana cost of that card. So if you pull a 2-cost card, you do 2 damage. If you pull a 20-cost card, because there are cards that cost 20 mana, you'll do 20 damage. But the trick is, how do you know what is at the top of your deck? There are cards that can move things to the top of your deck. They're not really in Paladin. They're kind of weird. It's never been a great card, but there have been decks that used it. And then there's a card that costs 2 mana, right? And that card reorders your deck. It just reorders your deck from most expensive to least expensive. So if you have an expensive card in your deck and you play that, and then you play 2 mana, and then you play your 5 mana card, you can then pull an incredibly expensive card out of your deck and do damage to your opponent's face. Well, there's a 100 cost card in this new expansion. So, and that card drops in how much it costs to play, depending on what you're doing. So, any battle cry that gets played, any card that gets drawn, you and your opponent can work together basically to make this card cost less. And then it destroys all the minions on the board. So it doesn't even really do anything cool, that cool. Well, guess what? Even if someone has more health than normal and a bunch of armor, they generally probably don't have 100 health and armor, and you can just one-shot kill them with this combo. Also, it's very easy to find holy cards, which is the Holy Wrath is a holy card, and also to make them cost less is not hard. So it was very easy to just spam win games with that deck. The deck that I was playing, the only time it sucks is if you draw the card that you need to be in your deck. You draw it too soon, and then you can't shuffle it back in your deck soon enough. But I had an 82% win rate with that deck out of I think this was out of 20-something games. 82% win rate before the thing. They banned the card in Wild. You can still use it in Standard. Holy Wrath is not in Standard, so it doesn't work there. I thought the way to fix it would be to nerf the 2-cost card that reorders your deck, and because they nerfed it by having the top card would then be drawn, and I thought that's an easy way to nerf this, but instead they just banned it. They probably will nerf it, but they just banned it, and that's it. So that deck is now not applicable. But I did get a lot of wins with that deck because people were using it on me. And so I was like, well, if people are going to use it on me, then I'm also going to use it. Or just play Standard. But I was like, no, I don't want to do that. The real thing is, I have changed up some of my decks. I found some decks that some new cards that I like in some decks. I don't have a new deck this time. This expansion, I have not found a new deck that I like. And I will we'll look at the cards. We will do a Hearthstone stream at some point. But right now, I don't know what else. No decks are standing out to me. I'll probably build a Starship deck, but they haven't really seemed great. They've seemed good, but not great. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to build a Starship deck. I would love to hear from you. If people want to type into chat what you've been playing, what you've been watching, what you got going on. You doing any cooking? You doing any work? You go apple picking or going on anything like that. Doing anything festive, picking out pumpkins for a pumpkin pie or whatever. I don't know. What are y'all up to? Lashbrook says, I watched a lot of the Save Point streams. I did have those on this weekend as well. I also picked up Circle of the Moon back up and made the fool decision to 100% it. Oof. Okay. Well, good luck to you, my friend. I could have been done at least 15 hours ago. Yeah. I mean, sometimes you just gotta make a poor decision. And in this case, this is your poor decision, is that you're going to try to finish that shit up. Sometimes you just gotta. You just gotta make the wrong call. I understand it. It happens. I have watched some Save Point, of course, and then also I have been watching some of the evening stuff for my favorite crew is Night Watch, because it's the people that I know the best of the people from Loading Ready Run. But Desert Bus is happening at desertbus.org. We will, of course, be raiding Desert Bus tonight. That will be our raid, because we always want to raid Desert Bus when we can. But yeah, the Night Watch crew, which is currently happening right now, those are my peeps. So we'll hang out with them when we raid, which will be soon. But if anybody else has anything they're working on, they're excited about, they're enjoying, I always like to hear from you about what you got going on as I start to try to separate all these pieces here. I'm going to have to make more room. I'm going to have to move my keyboard, I think, to make more room for all this. But I'm just trying to null everything together here and get some stuff together, make my life easier. But these don't proper. Like all I do is all I can do is color separate these because I can't do much more with it. Lord Crashton says, I'm up to I'm into canon One Piece stuff now that we've met the skeleton guy that I believe joins the crew. I mean, you're meeting one cool skeleton. Let me just say that. Who is very upfront, and I love Usopp and Chopper are extremely confused about him while Luffy's up for whatever. Luffy has no fear. Is it because Luffy is stupid? Probably. But Luffy has no fear. He does not mind that Brooks, a skeleton man, is just hanging out, whereas Usopp is fucking terrified because, of course, Usopp would be terrified of a goddamn skeleton man. And then also, of course, Chopper would be freaked out. Chopper is a reindeer of science. And this is, this is unnatural. But yes, Luffy is just up for whatever. Now they're on a weird Dr. Moreau island as Nami's crew is freaked out by everything while Luffy's crew is mostly fine with it. Yes, Luffy trying to... I don't know if you've had this scene yet. But Luffy interacting with zombies is very funny. There is a classic Luffy moment in this episode, in this arc. There's a weird thing that happens. Personally, Thriller Bark can be a lot. So here's the thing with Thriller Bark. It's too long, in my opinion. It's got a villain you really want to see get his ass kicked, which is great. We love that. Brooks is up front in his horniness. And his horniness is comical, whereas Sanji's horniness is really fucking annoying and creepy. Just got back from a pre-release and went 2-1. Hell yeah, Ghost Valve. Fuck yeah. That's awesome. I'm glad you were able to pop in right before the end of the stream, and we got to hear the good news. And we're going to raid, and you'll enjoy the raid, I assume. But yeah, that whips ass. Congrats to Ghost Valve for that. Hell yeah. Love to hear it. Yeah, Thriller Bark is too long, but there's a villain that I really like. It's also got a lot of humor, a ton of humor. And also, there are moments that are actually legitimately poignant and kind of get me. There's some moments in Thriller Bark that really do hit me. And also, no spoilers on this one for you, Lord Crashton. Not going to spoil it. There is a character that gets there. Brooks has a connection with a character that you would not, I don't think you would expect. And it's a lovely bit of business. It is a wonderful, poignant bit of business that I think you'll really enjoy. But yeah, Thriller Bark maybe could have been a little shorter. So we actually didn't do any of the flowers in a watering can. I'm still nolling, and I will be nolling after the stream is done, because that's where we're at here. I still have to separate by color here, because there was a lot of stuff that needed to get nolled, and I'm doing it, but I still got more to do here. So I will do that off stream, and get all these colors together, and then kind of organize it. I'll have to redo a lot of this and get the colors together. Also, because we've opened all 3 bags, there's just a lot of fucking Lego all over the goddamn place, and so I'm gonna have to organize all that and figure out how that's gonna work. But what colors go where and how I can find them easily and all that. But that's a problem for this is a problem for Monday, Pat. I did like that Luffy immediately tames the Cerberus dog fox thing and wants to recruit every weird thing. Yes, Lord Crashington, they go back into the idea that Luffy constantly wants anything he thinks is interesting to join the crew, which they had kind of slept on a little bit, and then that ramped up a lot in Thriller Bark, because that became a fun, reoccurring gag of him just wanting everything that's weird in the crew. But I've been talking about rating, and we're actually going to do what I said. Hey, Harold just said popping in at the end, which is awesome. Welcome, Harold. Thank you for resubbing 84 months. Appreciate you very much. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego site tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Thank Harold. And then we are going to raid. We are going to go hang out. We're going to go hang out at Desert Bus for Hope. So feel free to come along on that. Oh yeah, I gotta go to this screen. I gotta mute the stream, or not mute the stream, but mute my audio so you don't hear. And then Desert Bus for Hope, a fantastic charity that runs charity event that runs 24 hours a day for a very long time. There are many hours left in the thing. So we're going to go raid and go see some cool friends. Perfect timing, Matt showing off Gunpla custom paint job. Hell yeah. So come along on this raid. Thank you for being here. I hope to see you on the next stream on Monday as we get deep into this Lego build. We're going to start by building some birds. I'll talk to you all soon. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.